I'm Deborah Nas, and I'm one of the managing partners of SUNIDEE. SUNIDEE is a strategic marketing and innovation agency, and we help large corporations to come up with new product ideas or new service ideas. After graduating in '96, I started at Philips Research at the new business and special projects department. Did that for about a year and then moved to KPN. And at KPN I started as a product manager, then moved to business development, working on an international project where we developed a new business model for an agency, for a company, a satellite company. And then moved to KPN International, where I became a consultant on product development, managing projects to develop new telecom services in the Czech Republic and Egypt and Namibia. And I did that for a couple of years. And then in 2002 I co-founded SUNIDEE together with Michiel Oudtakker, who I met at university. He was also a student industrial design engineering. So we always kept in touch. And then 10 years ago already we launched this company, and it's been great fun ever since. Like many other students, I didn't really have a plan when I started my education. I didn't really know what to become when I graduated, and it took me a couple of years to figure it out as well. I think only in the last 2 years of the, in total 6 that I studied, my ideas became to take shape, and I got some direction on what to do after I grow up, as I thought of it back then. So there was no concrete plan, but there were plenty of opportunities. And I think one of the great things about industrial design engineering is that you can basically do anything if you set your mind to it, because you're a generalist, but you have lots of useful skills. So as soon as you think of what you want to do, you can do it. And at the end of my education, the last 2 years, or actually the last year maybe, I thought it would be a great opportunity to help large brands come up with new product ideas or new service ideas, and really make a difference. Yeah, I think I was one with a group of other students. I organized a study trip to the United States together with Michiel, who was my co-founder of SUNIDEE as well. And when we were in the US, it was so inspiring and so much fun that I thought, this is great, I want to move to Asia and explore what they do over there. So I did an internship at Sharp in Japan, and when I was in Japan I thought, I need to go to China. And I sort of developed this passion for international work, which is something that you can only do at large corporations and big brands. So that's when things started to fall in place. I really enjoy really figuring out what consumers want and what drives their behavior, because you usually say something completely different than how they act. And I really enjoy finding out what the triggers are to change behavior and to make people enthusiastic about something they just bought or something that they want to have and something they keep on using. So products that make a difference. Well, that's fairly simple. Business cases. I think one of the big flaws in the education as it was back then, I think they spend a little bit more time on it right now, but back then there was like no financial courses whatsoever. And then you start your professional life and you need to build business cases. And you're a little clueless on how to do that, and also on how to read financial statements, which is very important. And it only got more important since we now have our own company. But also when you start your career, I took a lot of courses to kind of fill that big gap in my education. Yeah, it's a little difficult to explain about the projects that we work on, because it's highly confidential. We work at what's officially called the fuzzy front end, which we try to make less fuzzy. But it's from the moment that an organization thinks we want something new, or not exactly clear what, up to the business case. And when we stop our work, it usually takes at least 2 years before the product hits the market. So all the projects that we're working on right now, we'll see the results 2 years, maybe 5 years from now in the market. But as a typical project, it's a company that has a strong brand and they want to come up with a new line of products that will hit the market in a couple of years from now. And then we start doing qualitative research, interviewing consumers, organizing in-home visits, taking the people from the company to visit those consumers, really talk to them one-on-one, use that information to develop consumer insights, then do all sorts of brainstorming sessions to come up with ideas, select the best ideas, turn them into concepts, and then test the concepts and then build a business case. One of the recent introductions is the maaltijdsoepen from the Albert Heijn. One of the fun things working for a fast-moving consumer goods company or a retail organization is that things happen fast. So within coming up with the concept to market is like within 3 months. And that's a fun part. You're doing your groceries at the Albert Heijn and you go like, hey, that's our concept. So that's kind of a surprise that things happen so quickly. But also a new crate for Amstel, for example, or a new line of headphones for Philips. Well, for the first 8 years, we started building an agency with a whole set of by ourselves developed tools and methodologies in our toolbox. So we now have over 50 tools in our toolbox, which are great fun to work with and make innovation more fun and more practical. And for the first 8 years, we were a traditional agency with 2 partners and seniors and medias and juniors. And then 2 years ago, we decided to completely change our business model, and we started innovating in our business model ourselves. And we are now a franchising concept, which means that we have independent entrepreneurs who join SUNIDEE and remain their independency. And they work with our tools and methodologies, and we work as a team, but because they're entrepreneurs, it's much more inspiring for us to work with them, and they enjoy the freedom of being an entrepreneur, but also the benefits of being part of a system and being part of a team. And we're always on the lookout for new people, so if any good industrial design engineers with a lot of experience are looking for such a combination, are welcome. And in addition, we keep on working with students. So we do some guest lectures every now and then. And we always have 1 or 2 interns, which are great fun to work with. And it keeps us sharp and it keeps us open-minded as well. And it keeps us young. I think it would be fun to share everything that I've learned in the last 15 years of my professional life. And especially the last 10 years of SUNIDEE. We worked for so many large organizations in Holland and abroad, and we saw so many different markets, so many innovation challenges, that one of my plans is to write a book, probably an e-book, but maybe also teaching, not quite sure, but something that allows me to kind of interact with people and share knowledge. Focus. And I think it's quite a difficult market at the moment because there are less jobs than applicants. So you really have to try to sell yourself. So you have to focus in terms of what you want to do, what am I really good at, much better than everybody else, and then create a good sales pitch for yourself and sell it to companies. Because I think there are plenty of opportunities and you can do anything that you set your mind to, but you need a clear, crystal clear pitch. I think it should develop into a little bit more of a holistic approach in terms of there's still a mentality of, if the product doesn't make a noise if you drop it, it's not a good topic to graduate on. And it has changed over the years, but I think it needs a much more holistic view on products and services as a complete system, and products in itself is just a minor detail of the total customer experience. So I think maybe it should be a customer experience education.